And just to do a follow-up on the old 1980 Suzuki GS750L with a gas leak. At first, my suspicion, upon advice from a relative and a friend, was that the fuel petcock operates uniquely with Suzuki with a vacuum line that runs back here to the carburetor, and that's why it was leaking gasoline. And the safety feature is meant so if something goes wrong with the system, it cuts fuel off to the carbs and engine dies. However, I examined the fuel petcock. I was going to replace it, however I had the wrong part. I looked at it. It looked fine. No corrosion, no worn seals. A little bit of gunk. I cleaned that out. And it would still leak gas, as you can refer to in video 1. So the next logical step, and my suspicion was the carburetor could have a stuck float. So I removed the carburetor by taking out this airbox, disconnecting these hoses, and had a rebuild kit with me. And I took apart every carburetor, sprayed cleaner, had a toothbrush, cleaned out any debris and sediment. 3 of the needles appeared to be stuck, or at least very corroded and rusted. I replaced those and the valve beneath them, and reinstalled the carburetor. The job is not done yet, but I gave it a run, hooked up the gas tank, and it leaked fuel all over me, but that was okay, because it was just, I forgot to connect the fuel line. So after I connected the fuel line and the vacuum line and the gas gauge to this fuel tank and then filled it up with gasoline a second time, no leaking fuel. That's what I wanted to see. I went ahead and started it up. First try, it idles and purrs like a kitten. And so what I expected to see was this fuel petcock weird issue, and what I found out was, oh wow, big surprise. The most common, reason for a motorcycle like this to be leaking gasoline, which is a stuck float, indeed was the case. So after a quick couple of bottles of carburetor cleaner and 2 or 3 rebuild kits for those carburetors, it was running just fine again. So this will need some fine tuning, probably carburetor sync, and adjusting the mixture rate along with that. And I say that because I also changed the spark plugs, and if I look at these spark plugs, I can see a lot of carbon on them, and what that probably is telling me is it's running rich with gasoline. Also, when this thing is running, you can smell fumes coming out the exhaust, and so that tells me something serious with how much fuel versus air we're pumping in. So I will have to read the Haynes manual again, start this thing up, and hope that I don't kill it. And that's it. Return to factory specs, and then off to the auction it goes. But Suzuki GS750 troubleshooting ended up being stuck float, not the fuel petcock, which was a distracting culprit. Thank you.